Hello and welcome to the Fed by Farmers podcast with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Murray.
We are doing... Sorry, I'm not trying to speak. I'm just excited. I'm excited. It's Christmas. It's been Christmas.
Yep.
It's going to be New Year.
It's Hogmanay today.
No, yes. No, it's not.
It is?
Sorry, Iona. I'm sorry.
What?
You. Are you talking me the podcast out?
Yes!
Oh,
for
sorry.
once in my life!
Now, shame on me for thinking you could get something like that confused. It can't just say, shame on me. We're recording this the 30th on the Monday. The podcast goes out the next day.
Yep.
Sorry, I should have been with you there. But
It's okay.
you know, wait to the end of this podcast to hear Iona do the quiz when she mentions one of the best known performers in the world who she's never heard of and tries to pronounce his name. Very, very good. Harry Hondini.
Still nothing.
I know, it's mad.
Yeah, it's mad.
You never heard of Harry Dini?
What, like a singer?
No, he's not a singer.
Right.
He's an escape, like he's a magician type, but like an escape artist.
Right, okay.
So he used to like lock himself in cabinets of water and
Okay,
chains and stuff.
yeah. Oh,
trying
yeah,
to escape.
I can picture the guy who did
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
just
was-
didn't know that was his name.
Yeah. So anyway, that's to come later on the podcast. We have Janet and Neale from Kitchen, Coos and Ewes down in Sunra. Unbelievable farm tourism business.
Yeah.
Like
They've nailed
insane numbers. For a place of the country that's really hard to get to down in Sunra, it's insane. It was Graham Parker, the Hoof GP, that put us on to
it.
them.
Yeah.
He I think he went to do a piece for them and
Yeah, Janet speaks about that in the podcast.
does it, and I thought they were absolutely great crack. So this is how it came about. They've also got the world record, the record price for a beltex ram,
Yeah.
which is 65,000. So not only do they do the tourism business well, they do the beltexes quite well too. So yeah, we're going to hear from them. Fantastic couple. Before we'll do what you've been up to for Christmas after. I'll do it now. Tell me, what did you do for Christmas?
So we were at the farm for Christmas, although this norovirus just was... Remember, I was ill the week before,
Yeah.
and then my niece got it really bad, so they ended up not coming through. You don't need to know the ins and outs, but it wasn't the same as what it was planned, but it was still a lovely day. We had
Okay.
the beef.
Yeah, how was the beef?
Delicious.
We had beef too.
Bang on. Really nice.
Where did the beef come from?
Damn delicious, it's called. It's through near Bigger.
Okay. Is it like a farm thing?
Farm, yeah, and then they've got the farm shop and they sell their
Okay,
their
shout
meat.
out to them. Good.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah,
How
no,
was your beef?
absolutely fine.
Sorry, we need to address the fact you're engaged and you've bought a farm.
Oh yeah, this is the first podcast since that. Yeah, I did that too. But
Yeah?
we did that like a week before the video came out. It wasn't like one of these like Christmas engagements. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you
No.
did that, it's not my cup of tea. But because doing it in Christmas it'd be like I got Lizzie a gift, a Christmas present, which I don't do. So that's why
Yeah,
I
it
really
would've
don't
been
want to do it.
Out of character.
Oh, I'd be like
Yeah, weird.
soft. Like no Christmas presents here.
So how does it feel?
Yeah, surreal. I mean, the wedding thing's definitely, the proposal thing's, it's not that exciting in terms of like it was a given. Like we're all
Yeah, you're gonna
we've
get
got 3 kids. It's like it's not that big a commitment. The kids are a far bigger commitment than getting married. So it's just a kind of thing that needs done because I just think it's ridiculous that Lizzie does everything for the kids but has a different surname.
Yeah. So
So that's the main reason. And then obviously there's an inheritance there's tax benefits as well moving forward. So yeah, and obviously
so romantic.
I'd be delighted to. Lizzie's amazing, so it'll be great that way too. But the waste of money of it still
Would you
upsets
just
me.
why do the big shindig? Would you just do something small
No, I think we'll just do it in the shed.
at the farm? Yeah.
Just do it in the shed. Just get a heap of chairs. We'll do a big
Do
barbecue
like a
thing.
big roast, like you could do like
Well,
a
I was-
hog roast. Or
Yeah, and I was
something.
thinking like bring your own bottle, man. Just don't need a license if they brings their own drink.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you need. Tell me, I could be wrong there, but I think if you do it and everyone brings their own drink and there's no drink being sold. Well, I mean, we'll put on some, I'll buy 24 beers or something to dish out. But, if
Hey, you'll buy a crate.
couple bottles of red wine. You get 6 bottles of red wine and
Yeah, I'll go to Costco for you. I'll do a run to
a
Costco.
Prosecco and, the rest of it. We'll buy one of the big bottles of vodka, the full litre.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah.
70 cls,
Oh, no.
full litre
No,
of vodka.
it's your wedding day.
Go mad.
Yeah.
Why not? Look at the price of lambs. So, yeah, we'll probably just have it in that big shed, I think.
And the farm, so you're into the house.
Yeah, the farm's far more exciting. I mean, it's mad. Yeah. I mean, like I go a walk, I take the spot a walk every night, like when it's dark, and just go. And honestly, it feels like I'm walking about someone else's farm.
Does it? Like you're doing something wrong?
Yeah, I still. Well, I'm not even doing something. Just that. Well, a wee bit like, oh God, walking about this guy's farm at night, and just the sheds are so ridiculous. The yard is so tidy, all concrete, and The house is so good, like insane, like compared to like any luxury I've ever lived in. Like, you know, we were brought up in a big cold house. The last house we rented was a fantastic big house, but again quite drafty, cold.
Yeah. Classic farmhouse.
Classic farmhouse. Great for the kids to grow up in because it keeps them hardy because it's tough, you know. But this one is all like double glazed, no draft, brand new boiler.
Wow.
Roasting, and it's like a combi boiler, so you have as much hot water as you want.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't like run out.
Yeah, so I'm used to obviously like a water tank, so you get one bath, and you know,
And that's
well,
it.
growing up we had to like share a bath, which is quite common again growing up in the 90s. But now it's just unlimited hot water, which sounds so ridiculous to people in the town because I think every boiler in the town's a combi boiler. But if you live on a farm, having a combi boiler, like unlimited hot water,
that's a luxury.
It's pretty special.
Yeah,
there's even a tap in the outside, like of the building, that is hot water.
Oh my God, that's
I'm not sure
so
why they installed
handy.
it, but
my dad's got one of them. My dad's got a hot water tap, and it's see the number of times that comes in handy.
well, I'm thinking, like even just like I'm gonna put a hose on it, even like a frosty morning,
Yep.
just defrost the windows with a hose.
Perfect.
There's so many things. I'm guessing it was put on. It's in like the garden bits. I'm guessing it was put on to maybe fill like a paddling pool or something.
Okay, yeah.
For the kids, maybe, I don't know.
Another handy one to have.
Yeah, washing the dog actually, maybe. Anyway, so the perk was that the farmer's daughter lived in the farmhouse before we bought it.
Right.
So you can imagine,
So
like if your dad was putting you in a house,
Yeah.
how good the house would be. You know,
Yeah.
everything was minted. You know, nice windows, nice. And she'd really, I'm guessing it was a lot of her taste. She had very good taste because the place is all nicely done. Bathroom's amazing. Like the bathroom's the size of a bedroom.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's got like one of these like freestanding baths, like a big shower, obviously a toilet, sink. But when you've got 3 kids to bath and all that,
That space.
oh, space, like you can sit 2 chairs in it, like 2 kitchen chairs in it, and sit and watch them have a bath, and there's just so much space. It's unreal. And there's another bathroom upstairs with a big walk-in shower, and the mirror up the stairs. The mirror has got Bluetooth and it connects to your phone.
Stop it! So you can play music through
Like
the
that's
mirror.
something. Yeah, podcast, but yeah, you could listen to Fed by Farmers through your bathroom mirror while you're having a shower. Like that's something I would never in a million years buy. But seeing you've got it, it's like that's quite cool.
Yeah, that's unreal. That is actually unreal.
Yeah, it's just wee novelty things. So yeah, the house is amazing. Do you know another mad thing? And this is me just going off on a sorry.
We should do a
Neale
Friday
and
catch
Janet.
up.
We should. That should be its own podcast actually, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Will we just do that?
Yeah, but next Friday, not this Friday.
Okay, sorry, I thought you meant we'd cut this into and do a Friday one from
No,
this.
we'll put this one out because
it
it is. But yeah, I could talk about this forever. But last thing I will say, there's loads of last things I want to say, but we'll say it in another podcast. We'll talk about the farm a bit more, I think, because it could be its own thing.
Next week. Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Folk are raging now. You've just taken off because we're getting right into this.
I know.
But do you know another amazing thing?
Go on.
And I appreciate this every time I do it. See when you walk up the stairs, there's no noise,
No squeaky floorboards.
no creaking,
Really?
no nothing. It's insane.
So why is that? Surely they've not like redone the stairs.
They must have redone them at some point. I mean, it wasn't always a two. Well, it has always been a 2-story as far as I remember it. But like
Yeah.
the stairs.
Oh yeah,
are
we're
just,
creaky at the farm.
yeah. And like the last house was creaky. And well, every house,
Even my flat and
even
straight, you
houses-
go up the stairs and they creak.
even the house I was in the town before, you got creaking noise going up the stairs. This, not a cheap.
Nothing.
I don't know if they've used heavier timber or
Something,
they've
yeah.
redone it or what they've done.
Are they carpeted?
It's so funny, but well, it's unlikely that I don't want to use any names. It's unlikely the girl that was in it before will hear this podcast, but I think she'll be laughing, just thinking I'm so excited about how good our stairs are.
And then I'm here like, oh my God, really?
Yeah, but anyone that lives in a farmhouse, I think,
you
will
get it.
Yeah, will get it because the upstairs and the stairs are always creaky, and yeah, but not a single bit of nothing. It's such a pleasure going up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
And
Did you
it's
ever?
weird.
Did you have 2 stories when you grew up?
No, just a bungalow.
Did you? We always had I saw it online as well. The thing is, you can tell who's coming up the stairs by how they walk up the stairs.
Oh, there's definitely that.
Like, isn't it? It's funny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can.
But
tell.
I mean, I didn't have that. But yeah, you can.
Yeah,
tell.
you can work out who it is by their footsteps.
Yeah, but I could tell by the way somebody opened the living room door because
Could
our
you?
house. Well, it was quite a big bungalow, but a bungalow is still a bungalow. So it's 3-bedroom bungalow. But yeah, I could tell by how because we had like a really old door with a wobbly knob on it.
Right.
Still have that same door, Mum's house. Actually, it's like just every house proper. It's like proper old houses. Like
Yeah.
every door has a different handle on it
Oh, haha. Yeah,
because
yeah,
they've been
yeah.
picked up second hand places, and
Yep.
you know, yeah, everyone's got a different handle. Some of them don't even shut.
No, that's the same in ours.
Aye, like some will close over, but they don't snack.
No.
And other ones will snack. A snack means like to lock in the wee thing. So yeah, I could tell by who opened the wobbly handle who
it
was
was.
coming. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean. So anyway, that's mad. We'll talk about it again at the end. We'll hear for Janet and Neale.
Let's go.
Because they're the real stars of this, not us taking up the limelight talking about a bloody farm. It's a great farm. No, we'll do a podcast about that. Anyway, here we are, Kitchen Coos and Ewes with Neale and Janet McQuiston. McQuiston.
I think it's McQuiston.
Here we go.
So we're joined by Janet and Neale from Kitchen Coos and Ewes.
Hello there, nice to be here.
Good, thank you for coming. So whereabouts are you based?
Oh, we're down in the southwest of Scotland. We're about 10 minutes from Stranraer.
Okay, so a bit of a journey through.
No, we're an hour and a half away from here, maybe. Yeah.
Lots of grass down there.
But not as much as the rest in South Ayrshire, I don't think. It seems
Is
to be
that right?
blowing in the wind up here.
Is that right? We just have probably less sheep in South Ayrshire. That might be it. The big dairy boys don't like sheep on it.
Oh, right.
That might be it. You'll have a lot of sheep in your district, do you?
We do. There's down near Stranraer in the sort of fat lands down near the sea. There's a lot of sheep winton goes on there, but I've discovered that there's no love in a dairy farmer's heart for a sheep. After St Valentine's Day, they seem to want them off. So
Yeah.
it gets earlier and earlier every year.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. It's the same up here. I think it's the same all over the place, to be fair. They just want them off for that earlier cut, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I think half of September's better than the whole of March, I think.
so you think having the sheep away from home half of September?
I think get them away early and it gets them off to a good start. Grow them before the new year, they say.
Yeah, that's probably a good shout. That's probably a good shout. Although when I'm just looking for bits to stick my ewes with the tup for a bit behind them at the road, I don't suppose it matters when I get them away. Just the longer the better is the reality. But yeah.
And what is your background? Are you both farming background?
We are. I mean, I regularly claim that I'm 7 generations of farming,
wow.
but I'm just a newcomer to the new
It's
loose.
just an incomer.
Okay.
Janet can claim 11 generations.
11
11 going back to 1624
on the same farm.
Wow.
Well,
on the same farm. I don't know.
the same area.
in the Luce Valley.
The Luce Valley
Okay.
used to own the land that we're on now, but they lost it
All right. Okay.
to the Earl of Stair.
To the Earl of Stair. That bugger.
I know. If we had a pound for every time we've heard
Earl
that.
of Stair, I tell you.
Nightmare.
Does the Earl of Stair still exist?
Oh yes.
Oh, it does?
We got
Okay.
on very well with them.
All
by
right,
the way.
well, can I just apologise then? I just
Me
thought,
too, I thought
yeah.
It's not
I thought it was
him
just
that
some
lost
trust.
No,
I thought it was probably just some
still,
trust.
Still
No,
there.
no.
Shout
I
out
think
to
He's
the
and
Earl
he's
of
a
Stair.
farmer.
So what is an earl?
An earl, it must have been a title that was bestowed on you a long time ago.
I wonder what for.
Like a landowner.
Is that?
Yeah, it would be.
But there would have been lots of landowners. Why is not everybody an earl?
Yeah, large landowners, but it would be like nobility slightly.
Yeah, it's an ability that links to the king and
I guess
doing
a lot
doing
of-
things for the king.
Yeah, a lot of it would be like the way England kept Scotland really weak was keeping us fighting amongst ourselves. So they would give lands to greedy Scottish clan leaders, and they'd give them titles and lands and all this stuff, and that would make them do what they were told. So
Right,
they wouldn't
okay.
send men to join rebellions and etc. etc. They'd claim taxes and send it down south to the king, and that was then they would get their titles.
Interesting. So did the king used to get the tax?
Yeah,
Right.
well, I still do.
Is it not the government?
It's not the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah, well, back then they didn't have the government.
Aye. So I'm saying
Have
it
you
went
seen
to the
Braveheart?
king, but now it goes to the government.
Yes, okay, yeah. I mean, I would say it's kind of all the same. It goes to the
crown.
crown.
Yeah.
That's how you describe it, isn't it? Which is all
Right.
which comes under
Treasury and-
the
Quite
treasury.
vague, isn't it?
Yeah, well, where does it go?
No, where does it go?
Where does it go? See, just to go on a mad tangent before we even started. What about this Bovia thing?
I think the Earl of Stair, it'll go back to around about the 1700s, I think.
Okay, that's not too far back.
Early
Yeah,
1700s. In about the Act of the Union time, in about that time.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of American listeners as well, and I think obviously their country's very young. So, like, I think they'd find it quite interesting, some of the history and
We
the way
get a
Scotland
lot
was
of
made.
We got a lot
American
of
visitors
Americans,
coming to the farm, and that's something that you can't buy. You can't buy our history that way. You know, if I claim 7 generations, Janet claims 11 generations, you know, it's real. And American guests, they really enjoy hearing about that.
Yeah, if you're 1600 something, is that older than the English being in America? When was America kind of
set up by the English?
Oh gosh.
There's a question for you.
I do think Outlander. I need to watch Outlander. It's on
Is that on
there.
Outlander?
It's on Outlander when you go
Right.
over to America.
She shuts herself away and watches Outlander on her own. I don't know what's so special about Outlander.
Yeah, well, can I tell you something about Outlander? And a lot of people watching this will probably have seen Outlander. I went off it. I don't know if it's season 1 or season 2, but when the English guy had him as a prisoner and sodomised him,
that was.
I just went right off it. Then I was like, how is this relevant to? Like, it was so ridiculous. Like, it was so extreme. I was like, how is this relevant to a story?
Too much.
It was too much. It was
seen
too
it
much.
for a wee while in a way.
Yeah. Oh, once you're past that, I'm sure it was fine. But after that, I was kind of like,
It is a good history lesson. It is quite accurate, you know.
is it?
Aye.
Did she go back in time and help them during Culloden?
No. Not that side.
Sorry,
But the battle timings and everything.
Yeah, what a disaster it was, Bonnie Prince Charlie and all that. We're talking about Culloden and the Jacobites, another thing for our American and English listeners of those. A lot of English people will know about the Battle of Culloden. It was a massive victory.
And a lot of the time it wasn't English and Scots either. You know, it was clans and, you know, there was Lowlanders as well. You know, it was very fluid.
Oh yeah, I mean we're proper in a mad tangent here, but I love all this stuff. But like the best way to keep a country weak is to keep them fighting amongst themselves, and it happens all around the world.
Yep.
You know, you keep sort of civil war, keep the clans fighting, and keeps you all weak.
Use inner turmoils. Use that, like with the McDonald's and Campbell's. It wasn't really that, but they used that as the excuse for what happened when they were actually just wanting to take the power away for the chiefs.
Yes.
Because
God, we're getting right into it now. We're obviously talking we're now talking about the massacre of Glencoe.
Well,
when
do you know who ordered it?
I have read it.
An Earl?
No,
An Earl?
it's a sheriff, is it not? A sheriff of somewhere?
The Secretary of State of Scotland at the time was the Earl of Stair.
Oh, wow.
Well, he wouldn't be the Earl then, I think, whatever he was, but it was the first one.
Amazing how that's came back round to that. So it was the Earl of Stair that ordered that. For anyone
was the
done again. Scottish history, I mean, it is fascinating.
People said, that's not
Well,
right.
it's really, I don't know about that, but the interesting thing with the massacre.
The curse of what's the curse of the...
Well, you're all doing great here. I could be out of the farm after 7 generations. by Christmas time, I would have.
I upsetting the Earl. No, I'm sure he would never order such a thing now. That was years ago. Don't blame MD's ancestors for what they've done. But the Campbell thing, of course, Campbell was banned. The name Campbell was banned for years. It was like a slagging, basically. You know, if you were never trust a Campbell. Yeah, it's still a popular saying.
Why
in
was
Scotland.
the Earl a Campbell?
No, because the Campbells basically took hospitality from the MacDonald clan and murdered them.
There was already angst between the Campbells and the MacDonalds, but the government, the ruling classes used that to their advantage to make sure the massacre of Glencoe happened.
And when they went there, they didn't know that was going to be happening.
Oh, but the Campbells didn't?
No. Oh. The order came through because the Secretary of Scotland wanted to make an example of them so that they could control the clans.
Okay.
So they would have allegiance to the king.
Yeah, because they wouldn't sign the Treaty of Allegiance.
He did try and sign it, but they didn't really want him to sign it.
Yep.
He did turn up in time. And so when the order came through, it was a shock to some of them. So, and I think that's how it got out that it happened, because it was all hushed up. But one of them apparently got drunk in a pub in London and left the order. I think it was left purposefully.
Yeah, okay. And
it got over to France, and France says, right, something needs to be done about this because of the Old Alliance, and they insisted that. And so the Secretary of State of Scotland was chucked out of Parliament and made in disgrace.
Yeah.
But just like modern day politics, he turned back up a few years later.
Yeah.
You've probably got the idea by this time that Janet's still a wee bit sore about the fact that the Earl of Stair got the land that her ancestors had up until, the 1700s.
I don't know how they lost it. I don't know.
Yeah,
she's still harboring a grudge.
They got the land off your family down in Stranraer?
I think it was held in trust, and there was other farms where they held it in trust, but lost the documents. But I don't know what happened in our family's case. It was.
And you're in a tenanted farm now?
We're in the tenanted farm.
We've said too much already.
We have.
We've said too much already.
I'm not saying anything more than
let's move quickly on.
Very good relationship with our landlord.
Can we talk about the covenant?
Yes,
No, catching coos and ewes.
It's
Come
far
on.
more interesting than Covenanters. Far more
Can we just talk about William Wallace? Like, it's so much easier to follow. And it was nothing like Braveheart.
Crystalyx Extra High Energy feed blocks have been providing high energy supplementation to ewes, lambs and rams in the UK since 1978. Packed full of protein, vitamins, minerals and trace elements, Crystalyx Extra High Energy has been proven to increase live lamb numbers and improve lamb daily live weight gain at a cost of only 4 to 7 pence per ewe per day. To view the full Crystalyx range and find your nearest stockist, visit crystalyx-global.com.
Okay, when you go, Iona.
You
Let's get back
mentioned
on
there
track.
about American visitors. So what are they visiting you for?
Well, I think they're coming for a real, authentic experience on a Scottish farm, and we've still kept that sort of farmy feel. We haven't turned it into farm park or anything like that. We're still very much working farmers, but we do our very best to make sure that they get a taste of that farm experience, real farm experience. Okay. So the name Kitchen Coos and Ewes. The original idea was that we'd have small groups, like a family from America. We'd welcome them into our kitchen. We'd show them some Scottish hospitality. Then we'd take them to show them the coos and the ewes.
What kind of cows have you got?
Well, they're Highland coos.
Very.
Well, I think that's the thing. The Americans absolutely love them.
Yeah.
And they really want to come and... there's about 5 things they want to do when they come to Scotland, and seeing a Highland coo, or even painting one, is one of them.
Up there,
and you can do that safely with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when did that? What was the lead up to that happening?
How did you end up so hard up you had to do that?
Well, that was the thing I was saying earlier on. We weren't particularly hard up because we hold the record for the highest priced beltex ram sold at auction. Our beltex is really doing really well.
Still? Hold the
We
record?
still hold it, yeah.
Okay. What's the flock name?
Areoland.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's quite out there.
Yep.
And everything was going really well. I was teaching. Neil was farming, but he always had the itch to scratch to do something tourism. We had quite a big Instagram following, and it was featured as one of the top 10 farms to follow on Instagram back in 2014 and 2016.
Wow. So was that just your sort of daily farming life?
Every day I was out, I would do stories at lambing time. I'd do stories every day. You know, I would be catching a yow with a dog, and then I would say, well, I'd try a catch and release here. You know, you lay the yow go, because I didn't have the trailer. Yep. And of course, there she was disappearing over the sunset, and me coming back with the trailer, picking her up into the shed. And folk loved that reality of just everyday farm life. And we did the coos, you know, when we were bringing them in. And so Americans would get in touch saying, oh, I really want to come and see your cows. Can we come and see them? And there was such a demand that we just thought we need to do something, because nobody was doing it. You know, how do we do it? And so we purchased a trailer, and we didn't get funding. We went for funding, and they went, you want to take people to see cows? You know, why don't you do accommodation? It was at that time, Highland coos weren't as big as they are now. It wasn't as there wasn't Highland coos in every shop, and but we knew there was a demand.
Yeah. And how many visitors are you getting now?
Our business is more or less doubled every year since we started over the last 4 years. So we had 1,000 visitors in 2001, 2,000 visitors in 2002, 4,000 visitors in 2003. And this year will be just almost 7,000 visitors this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all social media, because they when we got started in 2019, just in time to get shut down with COVID, because we had to cancel all those bookings. Neil decided, well, I'll go out into the calving field every morning and broadcast live, 6 o'clock. And you know how they give you advice of when to broadcast? And we thought, well, I'm out in the calving field at 6 o'clock, I'll broadcast at 6. And people were tuning in from all over the world. And those people are still, and it was lovely after restrictions lifted, they were able to visit. But that built up even more social, because previously it was just Instagram. Then Neil started the Facebook, and now I do the TikTok as well. And TikTok just blew up again, so...
TikTok's the easiest one for sure, though, isn't it?
It's gone weird again, though.
It throws folk at you like it's...
It puts your videos straight into the people that want to see them.
Yeah, it's very, very clever. But with the live thing, that's very much like Dulscone. They do a 6:36 club every day.
Oh, that's right.
Not every day, like 2 or 3 times a week.
When the last car starts, ours starts when the the week of the calving starting, and finishes when the last calf's born.
Yeah.
I like to get the sunrise coming up. So the sun comes out over the Galloway Hills just about that time when we start broadcasting at the calving time, and it really is beautiful some mornings when there's no clouds. So no, it seems to work.
We have a lot of Dosconies that watch the podcast, so I'm sure they'll check you out. They love just seeing it real and live streamed like that. I have ideas for if I ever had a proper base. I think a couple of the live streams are a great way to go. Like doing it regular. But you can need a bit of routine. Like I have no routine because I've just have sheep in a field all over the place just now. But see with the visits, do you do like Rick Steen or any of that stuff like Gareth Wyn Jones does, or is it all just off your own back? Like are you working with a tour company or?
No, just
no. We it's more or less people have came to us. I mean, we sort of imagine our business as being a small kind of cottage industry, and as people come and ask for more options or asking if we can do something, we always just say yes. I mean, in the first year, 2019, I think it was, we had what we call a soft launch. So we thought we'd start very quietly. We bought a little trailer, held about 10 people, and very soon we realised that, here there's lots of people wanting to come and do this. And then the local hotel, the Northwest Castle in Stranraer, they approached to see if they could take a bus. Bear in mind, I imagine their business was round about the kitchen table. So, of course, I said, of course we can take a bus. So they booked a coach in for Christmas 2020. And by that time, we had to start and try and make facilities that would hold 50 people. And we had a kind of a Jaws moment round about January 2020. And I said to Janet, we are going to need a bigger boat here. And we ordered the big trailer. It would hold about 25 or 30 people. And the idea was to have a big launch with fanfare of trumpets in the first week of May. The trailer was half built in England. The axles were stuck in Italy, and it all seemed like an absolute disaster. But anyway, it's grown away quite naturally. Now we had about 12 coaches last year from all over the world. And the great thing is they stay in the local hotel. So there's people staying there in the local hotel, and you know, it's... our little business is probably bringing quite a bit of benefit to the wider economy down in Wigtonshire there.
We did think we were going to be providing something for people to do in the area, who were in the area anyway. But now, because of the social media success, they're coming to the area. It's, you know, and it's quite difficult. This summer has been so busy, and people say, but it's my lifetime dream to come. I really want to come, you know. So we've been putting extra dates. So we've had to take on quite a few staff now. So we get
I was going to ask that, how you staff it.
Yeah, we've got 2 full-time and 6 part-time now, just because the kitchen part is whenever, because we're pedigree sheep breeders, whenever people come to see your tips, you would give them a spread. And I love doing a spread. I love bacon. So we wanted it that when the people came, they would get good home bacon. They'd get the spreads. So the bacon has just got out of my hands control. So I've now employed somebody to help me with the bacon. And the shops get out of control. The gift shops, I've got somebody to help in the shop now. And
7,500 bits of shortbread. It's a big ask for some.
And they're all Highland coos, so sometimes a horn breaks.
Nightmare.
But it's an insane amount of people. Like, it's absolutely incredible.
It is.
We love it.
And what kind of, by the time, you've obviously a lot of costs here, but like, how much money is that bringing into the farm business?
The business will be turning over. The tourism side will be turning over just short of 400,000 a year this year.
It's incredible.
Which is probably more than the farm ever made.
Yeah.
But we won't have it all our own way forever, because there's lots of people starting to copy.
We've had quite a few people come down saying, we want to see what you're doing. And we say, come on. You know.
I mean, listen, it's always been in my mind that if I got a place, I think with the Facebook following and all this stuff, like the way to keep pushing on and you know, I'll start small and then build up, would be maximise it with the public, you know, and get people on farm to see what you're doing. And lambing experiences would be the main one, kind of like what Empire do.
We don't do them. We avoid them.
I'd be a lambing beltex.
We're lambing beltex.
Yeah, well, that's too depressing. Like, what? You wouldn't want to subject people to that.
I like to relax and concentrate on the sheep at that time. So we don't do any lambing experiences. I'm a bit of a control freak, I think, in the lambing shed.
Yeah, that's good. You need to be at the pedigree shop.
But once they're all born, people can see them and that, because they love seeing them running. You know, that way they run when the ewes are feeding. It's lovely for them to see.
And are you taking people out? Like, what times are you closed?
We're only closed. We close in November when we're spaying the coos, and sort of end of February.
Half of February and the whole of March usually.
Just for the calving. But that's why we
So, but you just shut November, then you're open December.
Yeah.
And might you take folk a tour around in the
December.
winter?
Well, that's how you get business. You're open when everybody else is closed.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Plus you're in Stranraer, so there isn't really a winter. It's not a good thing to think of.
Oh, that was a wee
What,
dig there.
what temperature was it down there today? We in the teens. Beautiful part of the world. I used to go to a caravan site down there, and it's terrible. It's out of my head now. It starts with a C, somewhere on the road to Port Patrick from Stranraer. Massive caravan site.
It is with the sea.
An Irish fellow owns it.
There's a lot of Irish
Or
people
Lockhart.
down.
Is it Lockhart's or Drumlochart?
Drumlochart?
Is that a caravan site?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's down there, is it?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I've never stayed in a caravan down there.
Well, that's what growing up. That's
It's
where
a
I went.
lovely part of the world.
That's
though.
where I went for my holidays.
That's really nice.
2 weeks in a caravan, Stranraer.
I mean, the caravan parks are expanding all the time down in the...
Oh yeah, that one was
there.
getting huge by the time. Like I've not been there obviously for years now. I keep saying I'm going to go next time I'm down that way, go run just for the nostalgia of it, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd hardly recognise anything now. They develop so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always send our visitors right down to the Mull of Galloway.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the very most southerly part of Scotland, because it's a beautiful place, and they need to drive through all those other wee places to get there, and they need to drive back through them on the way back as well. And there's always a chance that they'll stop off and buy something in the shop, or they'll fill their car up with petrol or something. So.
Yeah, we used to go there every year. That's got a lighthouse, isn't it? Mulligan.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
stayed. You can stay in
It's a
it.
great camp.
In the lighthouse?
No, that's
I'm not-
Corswell. Corswell, you can stay in Corswell. We've got a lot of lighthouses.
Yeah.
Eh,
The Rins Peninsula is a beautiful place. If it
it's
was up the
amazing.
northwest coast of Scotland, it would be sinking under the weight of people that wanted to go there.
Yeah.
it's just so awkward to get to. That's the
It's
problem.
also
eh?
north of Scotland.
Yeah,
We've
true.
ju- we're just
Your
back from
marketing's maybe not.
Applecross.
Your marketing's maybe not as good. That's maybe part of it.
That's me and my family go to Applecross. Yeah,
we're
it's
over the
lovely.
Bialik
Yeah.
and the Bar. Jeez.
Oh, I know that is. Do you know that road?
No, is this northwest?
It's
where are you talking?
it's the Pass of the Cattle, the Bialik and the Bar. Oh,
No, I
it's,
don't know.
It's
I
like
don't think-
it's unbelievable.
I did
The
part of
turns,
my eyes
mum
closed.
refuses. She can't drive it. It's
no.
so like it's just so steep and windy, but it's beautiful.
but we
at
met
Applecross.
a Highland cattle breeder up there, the Applecross fold, and he goes doing it with his trailer on. And I'm
Does
like,
he? Do you know when we were in Applecross last time? Sam Smith was staying there.
As in the fisher them.
No, the singer Sam Smith.
Yeah, that's he calls himself a fisher them.
Huh?
He
What?
See, because he says he's non-gender, he calls himself a fisher them instead of a fisherman.
But he's not a fisherman.
No. There's a very famous clip Iona where he's in the one show,
Right.
and he says in another life I might have been a fisherman. He goes, "Oh no, a fisher them," and it went viral because he's like, you know, because he says he's non-gender, so he's a fisher them, not a fisherman. And that's the world we live in, folks. So nice to know Sam was there.
Yeah, he's
Shout
in
out to-
Applecross. It was just so random.
Shout out to Sam. And what about your Highland cows? Are you good with them as well? Are you doing the big sales, or is it just
we
for the
haven't
tourists?
tried that because the reason we got them was to produce a crossbred female because you can't make money out of Highland coos for beef. So
No.
Um,
But do you not sell it to folk that come? No, they just
no,
tourists don't really
James,
want
no.
it. No.
The only people that said that was we had a bus from Chile. And when they were out, and when they says, now do we get to taste them?
Yeah.
Which would horrify everybody.
Yeah, I thought the kitchen bit might have been a bit
No,
of that.
some people do it, but no, definitely not. We make a lot more money selling them for conservation, grazing, and tourism, so they don't go for beef.
Okay.
So, we're really a breeding farm. Everything we do.
Yeah.
Neil, we wanted to create that crossbred coo at the time. Simlings were popular, so
Yeah, they're good.
so we got them up to 80 and crossbred them.
With
But we'll
Charlie?
stop. No, with the white-bread shorthorn.
Okay.
Yeah. And it gets like a type of blue grey, only like they've a kind of strawberry blonde kind of.
Yeah, and you like them that much. He decided he
Don't know
would
what
keep
colour.
them. 'Cause we're supposed to sell them.
Okay.
But he's like, oh, I'll keep that. Because he was doing his videos, and I'm like, oh, I like that, I'll keep that. The more white they had on them, he wanted to keep them.
Yeah, they're beautiful cattle.
We did
But we've
sell.
had to sell them now. We're so busy with tourism. We had to sell our commercial herd. And I'm 65 next year. I don't want to be carving 100 cows outside.
No, fair play.
No.
That was the beauty of them. They could carve outside, though. But they're real good hill cattle because we sold some to Dalmally to a kind of mountain up there near. And when they let them out, they just kept walking and they stopped at a loch 2.5 days later.
Aye.
So,
Yeah, just what you want. Well, more and more, it's becoming more and more popular now with the cost of keeping cattle
yeah,
inside.
well, that's
Plus,
it.
people are realising cattle are amazing for the hills.
Yeah,
Like
they really
arguably they're better than sheep
Aye.
for the hills, so they're becoming very
we
popular.
talk about that a lot in our tours, and people like the idea of the cattle managing the landscape there and increasing the biodiversity and that. It's a great story.
Yeah, it's
They look
tours are
great too.
educational.
Even talking about the cow pats, we can talk for 5 minutes about cow pats and the insects that lay their eggs there, and folk
And
are
how it's a better
fascinated.
fertilizer because it's moist, and as
Absolutely.
opposed to like sheep dung that's very dry and hard
Yeah.
to break down. And
And we actually go out onto the hill. That's the thing. You're not looking at them in a field. You're going out into the hill. It is a true safari, because usually before the tour I'm whizzing about in the motorbike trying to find out, because they roam 600 acres,
Okay.
and just to make sure they're near where we can get to them.
Absolutely.
But the hill's like a garden in the kind of spring, the bog cotton and the bog asphodel. It's gorgeous, and they get to see that. And
Yeah.
it's the coos that's making it happen.
It's a good advert for farming as well.
it's good.
Like
That
people
is.
see that. And is it yourselves that do all the tours?
We did
Well,
originally.
Initially, it was we were going in a good way going, and we employed somebody. We employed a woman or a friend or a neighbour, and tragically, Maura had a stroke, so she had to stop working, and we didn't want to replace her. So Janet and me kept going our two selves, and by the end of August,
Tip sail time.
like a year and a half ago, like a year ago, we were just about on our knees. We were nearly broken. So we the young farmers stock judging on the farm. And at the end of the stock judging, I said to all the young farmers, we're looking to hire somebody. We need help here. Not sure what kind of person we need, but if you're wanting a job, come and see us. So nothing happened for 10 days. And then I got an email from a young man that was living down in the village of Newlewis. So I said, well, better come up and see me. So Chase from West Virginia, who had a degree in marine biology and a scuba diving instructor. Chase. And he came to see me. And after talking to the man for 20 minutes, I said, I think you've got a job here. And a year later, he now runs the tour himself. He's the chief guide, and he is superb. He really is.
But he works with the coos too, so he knows them.
Perfect.
That's the beauty, because he works on the farm as well as
Yeah,
doing
that's
the tours.
so perfect.
He's taken all the best bits that Janet had and all the best bits that I had. He welded them all together, gave it a kind of exotic accent, and oh boy, he nails it every time.
Well, that's one great thing is that the Americans will understand them.
No need-
They would
no
struggle.
need for
They'd struggle with me.
subtitles. Yeah.
They do like to hear that. They
like the Scottish.
Yeah,
they're
they do,
disappointed when it's an American doing the
No,
tour.
they're never disappointed.
No.
Okay.
Because he's so. In fact, he says coos. I love the way he says coos.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And we've now employed his wife as well. Who's an English woman, and she's equally as good.
She drives the
I
tractors.
can't believe how
and does-
lucky we are, because everybody's complaining that they can't find staff nowadays. And
Especially down your neck of the
we
woods.
just found two great people living in the wee
the
village of
best.
Newlewis,
Yep.
2
So
miles away.
perfect.
Yeah.
So they're living in our community. They're good jobs,
Yep.
and it seems
worked
like
out.
far too good to be true.
And what about family? Have you got any children that are involved at all?
Well, we've got 3 children, and Janet and me, we seem to have managed to breed almost everything except a farmer.
When they see all those long hours,
Which is the
we know-
hardest,
we
you
know
can
how
argue,
to,
yeah.
we know
It's
how to
difficult
turn
to
them
do.
off. Scum it up with shows.
So
and-
we made a big mistake with our kids there. We educated them, and we encouraged them to travel. So they all left home,
Yeah.
needless to say. And
Yeah.
they've seen how hard their mum and dad had to work. And
I thought it's an easier
The-
way of life.
the 3 of them are all doing great things
They
in the
are,
world.
yeah.
We're delighted for them. But part of the reason that we developed the tourism business was just to try and make the farm look a little bit more attractive to any one of those 3 children,
Yeah.
should they want to come back to it someday.
Because of your secure tenancy.
Or
Aye.
1991
Yeah,
tenants.
so you really need one of them to come and claim it,
Yep,
or else you're
aye.
going to lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they don't even really have an inheritance other than the assets.
Yeah, well,
The tenants' improvements will be an inheritance, but
yes.
apart from that, it's they're always a bit more complicated, those ones, when you don't have somebody to come through. But surely, the sounds of it to me,
Yeah, no,
you're almost
they're-
at passive income stage.
The,
When
Yeah.
you're certainly what sounds like you're working towards passive income stage, where there'd be no reason not to sign on the line and take on the tenancy and
Yes.
and
Yeah.
let Chase and
Yeah.
his good lady.
our kids, they're all clever. They're all switched on for business. So Even if they wanted to take care of the business in case there was a generation that's not even born yet that might want to farm, I'm sure that they could keep it going.
And what is it that they're doing? I can't do the whole
Yeah,
pretending. We chatted about it before, and it's really interesting.
Our youngest, she's in Skye. I laugh about her because, you know, when they were young, we were judging a lot of shows. And there was one year, we're doing the Black Isle show, we're doing Tariff show. And our youngest, she says to us, her friend was going to Tunisia and another one was going to Turkey. And she says, I'm going to the north of Scotland. But she now lives in the Isle of Skye. She's been all around the world, loves Scotland and blogs about, she's got huge social media following and blogs about Isle of Skye. And
what's her name for people if they want to?
Caroline McQuiston, Cozy Country Living. So she does lots of she does a lot of promotion for brands because people don't watch telly anymore. It's TikTok, social media. So she does a lot of content creating for different brands. She's done Cadbury's, Talisker, Grouse. So they approach her and so we can hardly get her to do anything for us. She's so busy with her.
Yeah, but that's good. Yeah.
But no, it's lovely how she loves being in Scotland now after and even admitting it. So
It was Caroline that got Janet started on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Because Caroline, she did a 4-degree course on photography. And she said to her mum, you should try this Instagram, mum, here. It's really
this
good.
was in 2013.
So Janet, bless her, she's got a real eye for a photograph. And very soon, Janet's Instagram page, it really took off and she was racking up the followers.
It took over hers.
And it was embarrassing for her, Caroline. Her mum had more followers than what she had. But no, Caroline's left us all in her wake now. She's got about 270,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So, and Gavin, our son Gavin, he went to Edinburgh University. He's an engineer.
Right.
And the latest footbridge over the Clyde there, Gavin was one of the engineers that's on that. So, and he's got a house and he's got a flat down in Leith in Edinburgh now, and he loves city life. So,
Does he?
Yeah.
The funny thing about him was when he went to university, being farmers that were living with somebody, it was John Scott, he was needing a top. And we said, we'll meet you halfway. And we were taking Gavin into his halls of residence at Pollock Park there. And with the pickup and with the top in the back of the pickup. So we drove up to Pollock Park. This woman comes with a clipboard and Neil goes, and so where are we going to put his sheep? This was right next to the so he was mortified, absolutely mortified, left the pickup very quickly. So when Caroline went to uni, she says, don't you dare meet in and bring a sheep with you. But our eldest, she trained to be an opera singer, went away to America, and because COVID knocked all that in its head, but she now writes for Opera Now magazine and reviews operas all around the world. She was complaining to me the other day, I have to go back to Venice. 6 times I've been to Venice this year, and I'm saying I wouldn't complain.
She did 5 years at the Conservatoire in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Right.
And then her course tutor, or the kind of the big boss up in Glasgow there, said, you should go to America. They'd love you there. So I was on there. She just applied to go to
India,
Jacobs School of Music in Indiana, and got in there. Did another 2 years, picked up another degree, second opera degree, and while she was there, she got headhunted by Yale, and she went to Yale and did another 2 years.
Wow.
At Yale, so she's got 3 degrees in music. I'm the only body in the family that doesn't have a degree, for goodness' sake.
But she was very much country comes to town, being from a farm. When she first went to the Conservatoire, they were all to talk about themselves and where they'd sung. So this girl says, I sung with the African choir, from here, there and everywhere. Another one says, I've been over to Vienna and sang there. And Lauren goes, I sang at the New Loose Dog Hunt. And of course, it all went over them with it, and they went, what's a dog hunt? And suddenly they all wanted to know what she'd done.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So now they're well travelled, then, eh?
They really are.
We're proud of our kids. I think you can probably tell.
Is this off of Stranraer Academy, or what's the academy doing?
They're Stranraer Academy, aye.
Okay. Must be a good academy then.
It is. It's.
Or do you take most of the credit?
Of course I do.
Aye, quite right. That's what you're there for, parents, isn't it? So what is the retirement plan? Just keep doing it till you drop, or
I can't retire. No,
Yeah.
We
you look quite fit.
Whenever we go on holiday or that, you always think, oh God, I need a rest. And the minute you rest, you're like, oh, I should be doing this. We do enjoy skiing. That's the only time you switch off.
Oh, I didn't know you're a bit arable as well.
No.
Sorry, I missed that bit. Sorry. You've got a fence? I didn't realise.
Have you
He
ever
only
skied?
started skiing when he was about 50.
I'm a shepherd's son. When would I ski? They used to go to skiing. They did school trips for skiing, but it was far too
Did they?
expensive. Oh, it was crazy money. But yeah, okay. So I like skiing. Tell me where you go skiing.
Yeah, I will go to France usually.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been to Tignes, and last year we went to Morzine. We'll
Sounds
go
nice.
back to Morzine again.
Is this the bits where they have like the log cabins on the slopes and you can go in and
Yeah.
drink
It looks
nice big beers? And,
amazing.
yeah, it looks good.
It does look good.
I've seen it on Instagram and stuff like that. It does look a laugh.
Yeah, it
looks
does.
good.
Yeah.
And you get a proper thirst on because you're doing a bit of exercise as well.
You can enjoy all the food because you've got. Although I don't ski anymore, my knees are short. Catching
aye.
a out, twisted a knee, but
Yeah.
20 years ago and never did the kind of proper things to get it better. So my knees are short. So
So you just sit at the bar,
I read books because I
hold
don't.
these trainers.
I don't get a
Take
chance to read or anything when
Yeah.
we're on the farm. It's so busy. It's just
Yeah.
take a
Nice.
chance to chill.
I feel like a skiing holiday is the only holiday I could see you going on. See, just talking
It's
about it there, because I'm
active.
like,
It's
because you're
really-
actually you're up in the morning, you're out, you're skiing, you've got a job
Yeah.
to do.
Aye.
You're not just sitting
Nah,
about.
I just couldn't see it at all.
Could you not? That's the only one I
But they see once
I
you've
got a
done the
glimmer.
slope, what then?
Yeah, back up.
Go back up and go down the other one.
What, for a
I
week?
mean, you're a shearer and he's a shearer, and that's it's just like shearing sheep, really.
Well, you just like get
Back up
competitive at
again.
it.
You get
Start
really
racing
competitive.
random.
You want,
Yeah,
you
you
want
do.
to. You
Are they?
really,
You do. Aye.
do.
You just start looking at it. What's this guy mugging me off?
No, we go skiing with friends of ours who did it at Sankara, and they're much better skiers than I am. So
Oh, so that keeps you,
you know,
chasing.
that keeps me trying harder.
Yeah, okay.
Still
okay.
looks like a farmer though.
Aye.
That's your words.
Like Bambi on ice type thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you
you're-
do, what's the slopes you do? Is a blue slope's an easy one, or white's an easy one?
blues and
Black's a hard one.
Blue, red, and black.
So what do you do?
Oh, I can do a red quite comfortably, and
Okay.
I've been known to come down a black
Okay.
sometimes on the skis.
intentionally.
When peer pressure, I was going to say when peer pressure gets to you, yeah, I know what it's like. Aye.
Yeah.
No, interesting. But so yeah, as I say, for someone like myself who's thinking for the future, if we got a place that I think this public facing thing, I think it's a fantastic way to raise money.
Yeah,
But you have to want to do it.
and I think
Yeah.
we're very lucky because everybody books in. Again, we've got a website where you have to book in. The people are coming preloaded, looking forward to it. You're not just getting passing people
Yes.
Yeah.
passing in. Maybe like they're already excited. So everybody we've had has been so lovely because that's what you said. People say, "Oh, working with the public, that's going to be hard." It's not. They're lovely.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
are
Well,
lovely.
I can think, I mean, since we started, we've now had, I haven't done the maths, it must be about 12,000 people in total. And you know what? I can't think of a handful of people that I wouldn't care if I never seen them again.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
don't
and
really
all-
get any
and
issues
all
at
those
all.
people.
No, we
That
get a
is
lot of
amazing.
repeat visitors. You build up relationships.
I've
It's
decided,
lovely.
That's lovely.
I've decided that people that like animals are generally nice people.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
a truth in
So
that.
you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm quite good at
Yeah.
interacting with the public. It wouldn't bother
Yeah.
me one bit.
Yeah.
I would probably quite enjoy it. It's just to say, how much is the tickets? Like, how's it work? Is it just a set price for everyone?
They sort of range from...
Winter's cheaper.
No.
No, it's a
No.
flat
The
rate.
coos
It's the
look
same
better
all
in the
the
winter,
time.
they're
There's no
hairier.
deals around there. It's always the same price. But for the hands-on coo tour, which was the new tour we came up with last year, it's £46 per head.
Per head, yep.
And are they brushing the cows and they're
They
touching
get to
them?
interact with some young coos, and they're on the other side of a barrier, so it's safe for the public to have that. But we need to train the animals to be confident to come up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
coos
You-
terms.
You
There's
put a
no-
wee bit of
they're
meal
not-
out and they
they're
come
not-
forward.
You won't force them.
It's tricky.
They want
we
attention.
never feed the coos behind,
Okay.
and it's a dangerous thing to start.
Because they get
Yeah.
cheeky and they'll biff you if
So
they don't
we
get it.
only feed the coos. It's like a reward for having that interactive.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just
To
love
To
being
encourage them, yeah.
and they
And they
love
enjoy
being
it. They
brushed
enjoy
so much
being
they'll come
groomed.
up for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Highland Wagyu you're doing. Just that, give them a daily massage.
They
More or less.
really thrive. And I was saying to Jess, I says it's almost like therapy for the coos. You know, they enjoy it so much. But it's a difficult time at the moment because we always do it with the calves. Because the coos with the horns, it's just too dangerous.
Yeah. Swing a horn round.
So the yearlings, they've just moved on, and it's the new bunch we've just weaned. So it's getting them used to people.
To it again.
And so we've got a training camp where we give them lots of attention, and then when they're really confident coming up, they move into the big school.
So talk me through, for your £46 your tour, talk me through it. You turn up, how many at a time?
We can take up to about 23, 24 people on the trailer. It's the trailer limits the size of our business, really.
Okay, yeah.
So,
and that'll just be like a Stuart trailer pulled by a tractor?
No, it's
or?
a proper purpose-built, padded seats,
it was built to
wind and waterproof.
Oh, it's like a fancy game
Specially built.
shooting type
Aye.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Neil he changed all the specifications to make it higher because we're going over rocky ground. So it was purpose-built.
And it's wider as well because the man's trailer was 7'6", and I says, "Are you chopping 6 inches off an 8-foot sheet?"
Yep.
He says, "Aye." All he says, "You just make the trailer 8 foot wide."
Aye.
And which was quite fortunate, really, because when we started out in business, in that COVID time, it meant we could keep everybody 2 meters apart because the trailer was so
Either side
wide.
of
So
the
that was
trailer.
quite fortunate.
And we can fix wheelchair. We've got wheelchair fixings, so we can put 3 wheelchairs in as
Oh,
well.
brilliant. That's great.
Was it got like a tail lift? Like a... How'd you get them up?
With
Just
a
like
ramp.
big long
We've got a
ramp.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah.
built a ramp. It's got
So
steps out when we come out in the field.
We need to dock the trailer back in at the ramp. It's like a ferry, you know. When we go
It's
back.
got a
So
loading bay.
That's quite tricky for if you're new to the job, learning how to do that. But no, it works.
Yeah. So they head out. They get the introduction in the yard. They head out, and it depends on the tour. It's supposed to be an hour and a half. The hands-on, but everybody loves the hands-on bit so much. So they get the hands-on, and then they get out to find the main fold.
Okay.
Oh, so the hands-on's actually out in the field? Or
It's out in the field.
but behind a barrier? How's
They-
that work?
they-
Yeah, we build a pen in the field, and we put the people in the pen.
So you drive, but you have to drive the
Rather
trailer
than put
into the pen.
So
The pen's big
the cows
enough.
have got a 12-acre field to roam in, but the people are putting a wee pen. So it's up to the cows whether
Love
they come
that.
up to see the people or not. It
Yeah.
turned the whole thing on its head, really.
Yeah.
How
Folk
you
will
would
like that.
imagine.
It's
And we
a
have to
novelty
put
as
the
well,
trailer in the pen because they love scratching so much. They would just scratch in the trailer if the trailer wasn't in the pen.
Yes.
So these are things we've all. We're giving away our secrets now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can buy all our secrets for £46.
That's what I was going to say. I'm sure there's plenty of folk come on
but,
recon missions
They
to...
do.
Well,
yeah.
Some of them are kind enough to tell us that they're there just
To copy it.
sauce it out.
And then we head out to the hill, and then everybody thinks that's it. And then there's the super moodle.
The super...
The super moodle.
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 A
Right, go on.
coo, 21-year-old coo, who poses for photos. And
Right,
she
okay.
really does. That's the one that Graham, Hoof GP, was to see.
Okay.
She was limping slightly, and we were really worried that she had arthritis. But she just had what was a coo version of a wee corn, and he fixed her up. But seeing that coo in his crush with the great big horns. But when she sees the trailer coming, she says, "Right, what's my nearest hill?" And she goes and she poses on the hill for photos, and she's stunning. And you have to see it to believe it, but she's become a bit of a celebrity because a woman came, she's been back twice since as well, and took a photo of her and sent it into Vogue Italia, and she was featured in Vogue website with the Vogue insignia.
Amazing.
She's now a cover model because she's been on a couple of covers of magazines. She was in Dumfries and Galloway Life and Motorhome magazine.
Yeah.
And when
I think she's missed December in a calendar somewhere as well.
and when the UCI World Champion Cycling came, they got Visit Scotland got in touch saying, because Santini was the jersey sponsor, and they wanted, because everybody associates Scotland with coos, they wanted to make cycling jerseys for coos. So they wanted the measurements of our coos. They made 10 cycling jerseys and they put them on Ewan McMillan's coos up at Lurg for Sky TV. And then when it came to Dumfries and Galloway, they sent all 10 jerseys down to us, and she's in the jersey, standing, posing.
Oh, at the side of the road, is the cycle pass like? You had them...
no,
just for photos,
she-
sorry, just for promo photos.
They put her on their Twitter page.
Okay, yeah.
Posing in her...
Yeah, just good for Santorini.
So she's done all forms of modelling, but the journey's no complete till they've got their picture with her, and she's
That's
just
great.
So they're in the up in the tour in the pen. the hands-on bit, back in, bit more of a tour, talk through everything you do,
Yeah,
back down to the steading.
Yeah.
Is that it after that?
They get tea, coffee, and shortbread, cakes, and stuff like
Trio
that.
tray bakes,
Everything's
yeah.
made in the farmhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
And you got a big room they can all sit in, like, or
it's
They
a
all-
Are they
buyer.
a shed?
It's a buyer.
It's a
Yeah,
buyer
okay.
that
But we haven't mucked it
converted.
out.
yeah, that's right. Authentic. It's meant to be authentic. Don't be
Yeah,
mucking
people
anything
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
But that's just one of them. There's also the Insta-couture. That's one that's suited for families because we do child prices. And because not everybody's confident with coos. Some folk like to stay. So there's no hands-on with it. And it's just a way out to get the coos and they get all the wildlife talk and the
Okay.
coo parts with it. And then there's the cream tea couture, which is out in the hill, and then a sheepdog demonstration. It used to be a sheep shearing demonstration, but that can be difficult in the kind of winter. and
Different
that.
time
So
of year.
Of course.
Yeah.
we focus mainly on the sheepdog demonstration.
That's
And
brilliant.
demonstration can be kind of contentious
But that's
one
part, and
sometimes.
that's part of the
That's-
tour,
that's the cream tea
kids
couture.
tour. Oh, the cream tea.
Cream tea
Cream tea
couture.
couture, yeah.
And then they get a full cream tea afterwards, afternoon tea.
What is a
And,
cream tea? Is that sandwiches?
Well,
and-
cream tea
is that like a
doesn't
tier
have
of
the
things?
sandwiches.
Aye,
The afternoon tea has the
Oh, that's
sandwiches.
afternoon tea. Yeah.
Aye, but our kind of cream tea tends to have sandwiches too because I kind of like to feed people.
Yeah. What is a cream tea meant to be? Just cakes?
Cream tea's just scones, jam, cream, and some cakes.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, no. And some places it's just your scones and jam. And
What's
cream.
a high? Am I thinking of what's a high tea?
High
I'm making
tea?
that up.
High
Is
tea
that a
is
thing?
kind of similar to an afternoon tea.
But just posher.
Aye.
No.
I thought high tea was like, you know, when you have breakfast for your tea.
No, high
what?
tea's high tea's in the afternoon.
No.
Oh, we do a whole
What, Rice Krispies for dinner?
No,
You got me there. I don't know what you mean.
not like beans and eggs and toast and things.
Oh right. No,
Yeah,
no,
that was
that's,
a high
that's
tea.
an all day
No,
breakfast.
I
I
don't
think.
think so.
That's an all-day breakfast. Aye.
Yeah.
We do a haute couture as well, which is the kind of high-end.
What was this, the name of that? Sorry, the
Haute couture.
haute,
Couture.
as in hot.
That's an
It's-
old. You know
it's
your
a play.
haute.
It's a play on haute couture.
You know haute couture is like high fashion, high-end, high value.
I'm almost proud to say I don't. But,
you don't
you-
know
you've
what
been-
haute couture is.
Like couture.
I think your
Couture.
kids. I think your
Couture.
kids have influenced you too much. They've been travelling the world. Couture.
Have you heard the word couture?
Couture's. No, I was going to pretend I do, but no.
Couture,
Sorry,
yeah.
it's a brand.
Haute couture.
Haute-
It's a thing. It's a high.
It's high-
fashion-
high value,
We'll have
high-end
to Google
fashion.
haute couture.
Yeah,
nowadays to-
Ashley should be here.
Yeah, haute couture just means fancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
I get
our,
it.
our kind of top
Because
of the end
if it's
range.
any comfort to you, it goes over the head of most people.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
And what do we
Sounds
get
good,
for
though.
that?
They get into the kitchen. It's for private small groups.
Okay.
So what size of group? Talk me through it.
Well, it used to
6.
be what we could fit around the kitchen table, but we've had 13 Malaysians around the kitchen table, haven't we? And we warned them, but they said, no, but we just want to be in your kitchen.
They love the
you know.
idea of coming into our home.
Yeah, and it's a
Okay.
traditional farmhouse kitchen, and I make pancakes off the range, and
Lovely.
they love freshly made pancakes, and then out, because it's private, it can be bespoke to what they want. If they want more of it, if they want a sheep shearing demonstration, or
And when they're booking that, do they have to email and negotiate with you? Or is it all online? Is it dead easy? They
it's
just
all-
tick boxes to add things on?
all the scheduled ones are online. The private ones, the email.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also work with Glenapp Castle. They send private luxury groups.
Is that
That's like a
Charlie
5-star.
Russell? Is he involved in the sheep
No,
there? Or
he's the farm side. It's the
Is Glen a
hotel.
big hotel thing? Yeah, it was on Gordon
Yeah.
Ramsay, wasn't it?
Aye, it's
That's
a
right.
superb
Yeah.
hotel. It's
Yeah.
Looked very
gorgeous.
fancy.
Really lovely.
Never been. I've heard it's very expensive.
It's very
It is.
nice.
Well,
very
is that
expensive.
where the Traitors was filmed?
Eh,
Glenat.
No, that's
No,
that's
is that
up
not?
in- that's up north. No, Glen.
But it
Gordon
could be.
Ramsay.
It's gorgeous.
Gordon Ramsay filmed a thing. I can't remember what it's called. Like it was like
Yeah.
he was going to give
Gordon
people
Ramsay
money.
was there. Yes, aye.
He was going to give them money to start up their food business.
Oh, and the girl from Time and Air, she
Yeah.
was on it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye,
Could be, I can't just remember.
yeah.
But yeah.
Aye, because Ailey that works for us, she was one of the kind of people in the dining room that were serving. You know.
Oh,
so
pretty-
she
yeah,
got-
okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
she
yep.
got it, which was lovely to see.
No, but I know some people that go down there say it's very good, but very pricey.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
classy.
think it is expensive.
Classy.
Yeah. And to their most in the travel trade, they want a sort of piece of the action. They want like a percentage to it's how they make their money, introducing clients to you. But Glenapp, they are quite good at supporting local businesses because they charge their clients a concierge charge rather than
Take the
Then
money
taking
from
a
us.
cut off you.
my
yeah.
cut. So, which is really good for a local business like ours.
But we do get love. I've just you're saying about it being pricey, there's a lot of Americans come. And in the gift shop afterwards, there was this woman buying this great big canvas. And with the Americans, it's shipping, it's a problem. I'm thinking, how's she going to get that over? She says, I wouldn't normally buy this, but I've got my private jet, so I'll be able to fit it in.
Oh, wow.
Lovely.
But they are lovely people.
Get your ticket prices up. Far too cheap. 46 quid. Far too cheap. No, it's interesting. NGissuesbooking.com. Not booking.com. Eventbrite or
Fair Harbour. We started with
Fair Harbour.
Eventbrite and it was a disaster because
What?
it
Okay.
wouldn't configure. It wouldn't show all the tours on your phone. It wouldn't configure to the phone. It was more suited to.
Is it probably better now? It seems to be that everyone uses it. I wonder if it's better now.
It probably is because it was
Maybe
during lockdown, sort of 2019. It was during lockdown that we changed. But Fair Harbour is really good.
The level of support you get is important because you're dealing with a farmer in his 60s here, so you need to get support.
Yep.
Eventbrite, it was quite poor getting support, but Fair Harbour, there's somebody somewhere in the world is awake, so it doesn't matter even if I ask for help at 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody will be on to help us out. So
I think it's more than help from Fair Harbour you need if you're up dealing with that at 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it's more sort of counselling you need. It's like, it can wait till the morning. Leave it, please. No, that's interesting. Listen, I think you're saying about not giving away all your secrets. You give away plenty, but it's good. Like that's why folk listen to this podcast. We ask the questions. You know, we like to talk about. Nobody ever wants to talk about money. You know, and nobody ever wants to talk about these intricate things. But I love getting into the nitty gritty because there'll be lots of people out there probably struggling to make a pound out the farm and thinking, do we dive in and do we do something like this? It doesn't have to be as, you know, the way you've done it. There's so many variations you can do. Like I was saying, lambing experiences, like Anprior do. They obviously do the pumpkins, which is major work.
Yeah.
That's a real big step up. That's, serious work involved in that. I don't really fancy, probably type of public as well, if I offend anyone here. Different clientele that come to do the pumpkin patches than what like you guys get for your tours.
We are really lucky because people come just loving the coos.
Yeah, and the pre-booking's great.
Yeah.
There's a place called Farm Stop in Aberdeen.
Oh yes, I know it.
Yeah, they a really good spot, and it's a new business, and they do they're pre-booking only. So
we're pre-booking only.
Great for
as well.
staffing, great for you know if you want to go away for a fortnight, you just mark that off the calendar. No tours that fortnight, or you've obviously get set up now. You can do that, but say Chase is taking a fortnight off, you just leave that clear, and it's great. Rather than like they'll go and say they're open Monday to Saturday, all right, they're just the summer, but it's a lot to staff, and you know it's intense as hell for a long time.
Most foragers don't supply sheep and cattle with enough cobalt, copper, iodine, and selenium, critical to digestion, immunity, reproduction, and growth. When it comes to supplementation, there's a danger of under or oversupply. But when bolusing with Animax Tracesure, you can be sure every animal has enough for up to 6 months in one single application. Animax, giving what it takes.
yeah.
We still want to farm. Well, I still want to farm.
So you can block off your lambing.
So and it fits around us.
And what about the beltex? You still good at it?
It's hard now. There's so many more people in it, you know. But
I think the flock's shrinking just a little bit. We used to the ambition used to be to have 200 beltex ewes, but we've kind of tempered that idea, and we're back down to about 80 ewes.
You do recips?
We do.
We've got a lot more recips this year. A lot more.
Fits in with our lifestyle a bit better now.
It's the only way to keep up, really, isn't it?
And it's an addiction, sheep farming.
Oh, it is. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. We're stretched to the absolute limit. I just can't stop buying sheep.
I know, and it's just.
It's a great business to be in just now, though. Do you know Brick Row Beltex? You know John
Yes,
Cowan?
I know John well,
Well, I was scanning there just 2 days ago. We're scanning his recips and that.
Yeah.
I must say, I'll give shout out to John. I don't like giving John compliments. Because John knows he's good. But of all the he's probably the best of all the places I do where he's like recips and all that. Like, oh man, he's got a good hold rate. Like,
lovely, that's great.
But part of me makes me think that he pulls if he sees it and jump.
He's only giving you the ones that have their returns.
I think I'll need to chin him on that one because it's just too good. It's a bit suspicious. I'm like, I think he's pulling out anything that comes back to the top here and then scans them later with the commercials, and then it's like, oh wow, everyone in lamb again, amazing. Sorry, John, I've just outed you there.
We couldn't possibly comment.
But no, he's big because it's a female in lamb female sale soon, is it?
It is.
Do you do any of that?
Not anymore. We used to, but we've had to kind of.
We do. I would. We sell sheep at the Beltex Beauty Sale, which is
that the back end?
But
That's
not
females.
at that stage.
Is that Carlisle?
Yeah.
Carlisle.
Yeah. Carlisle would be quite handy for you, is it? Is it 2 hours? Or?
It's 2 hours. Well, a bit more with the trailer.
Yeah.
2.5 hours with the trailer, but Carlisle
And you
and Kelso. Love selling at Kelso.
Oh, selling tups at Kelso? Do you sell tups at Kelso?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, good
love
on
it.
you. Do you do well there?
Well,
What did you
we
average?
held the
up
record
until
there.
this year, we held the record at Kelso as
there.
well.
Did you? For Beltex?
For Beltex.
What was the price of that?
12,000. 11, 12,000.
Okay.
But it got
Who beat
broken
you?
this year. Who broke it this year?
It was the Irishman Lakeview.
Gary Beacon.
Gary Beacon.
Okay. But what did your pen average this year for your tups?
It was really good. It was over 1,000.
1,400.
Everyone had a good. Well, not everyone.
really
I'm
good,
sure there's
yeah.
some people weren't happy.
And we
but
were
a great
last
sale.
in because Kelso's a nightmare because it's very unforgiving because everybody wants in the tup taxi queue and away.
as soon as.
And so if you're late, they'll no wait.
Yeah.
Especially if they're gathering up a lot of tups, they want them all gathered up. And we thought this is going to be a disaster. But no, thank goodness.
Well, I heard the fending it got dearer as the sale because folk
They
were
did.
starting to panic.
It was really good.
We were second for last, and I got our last sheep in the. Were we last? Our
And-
last
and-
sheep in the
and-
ring was £1,000.
Yeah, so last sheep of the sale for that ring. Yeah. Oh no, I did hear that, but because we had the merch stand down there. Was you and I? And folk were coming up. And, well, I think they had a few less tups than usual, did they? There was quite a few.
There was a few less tups.
Yeah, and obviously it was
And because
a nice day. It was booming with folk.
Yeah, they're not like other. You can't be the auction selling tops anywhere else. If you're at the end or the beginning, you're in the middle the next year.
It's just
And
it's
been
a
a
total
bone of
ballot.
contention for Kelso for years that they won't do that. So people that are at the end, they don't have that feeling,
Security.
oh, well, next year I'll be in the
Yeah.
middle. So they just don't bring them. They take them to Lanark or Stirling.
There was 1 year I was first in the ring, or we were first in the ring in 3 different rings. At Kelso, we had Dutch Texels, Blueface Leicesters, and Beltexes.
What are the
We had
chances
to
of
get my
that?
brother-in-law to take one of the sheep in at the ring because we were all at other rings.
But
That's his luck.
First will definitely be better than last, though.
No.
You don't think so? I mean, but we're just talking like this Kelso idea of everyone's desperate to get away.
Yeah,
Do you think folk are still
I guess
tense?
so. I
Hasn't
don't
it
know
got
what
Different
warmed
like
up?
at Lanark
Hasn't it got
when it's
warmed
Yeah,
up,
of course.
though?
Yeah, of course.
It's
Because well, like the first two, the Lanark Blackie Tup Lamb sale this year, like the first 2 folk didn't even turn up
because
this year.
Was
No,
it
it's
just
just-
thought it
A lot-
wasn't
but a
worth
lot
I'm
of
not
it-
saying it just was that, but it's
but
fair.
Black-
It's a
Blackie
fair assumption.
No,
sales-
but a lot of times that happens, and then they'll maybe take them to Dalmally instead. I don't know if
Yeah.
that happened this year with them, but
Aye, but
It
Blackie
helped
sales
us.
don't put you
It
in the
helped
middle.
us at the end of Kelso this year too, because a lot of the people that were sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th from the end, they didn't turn up. So
there's less sheep.
So it made
actually-
less sheep,
Okay, yeah.
which made it all the
Yeah.
trade all the better near the end.
Yeah. No, I did hear the sheep numbers are down quite a bit at Kelso. I don't know what the reason for. Maybe fat lambs
the,
are too
the
good.
national sheep flock must be shrinking, so the number of tups you need must be shrinking as well.
True. It's true.
And
Tell
you
that
always-
to Logie Dunno. They produce more everybody here.
Oh, I mean, they're
You
masters.
always think though when your lambs
Yeah.
when your lambs are selling well, you always think, well, I don't need a new top.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and when they're not selling well, oh, I need to change things here. I need to get a new top. So
No, good. And how much money did you spend on a tup this year? You've got to keep spending to stay relevant.
We nearly spent a fortune. We were.
aye, we were last losers to the
Well,
dearest.
400 grand in
60,000.
farm tours. You can, you could get into the blackies at that rate.
We went in with a 4-way syndicate, and we all thought we'd throw in 15 grand each to buy what we thought was the best Beltex ram in Carlisle. We didn't get it.
Right, what did that go for?
62,000, wasn't
You're
it?
joking. For the sake of 500 quid each.
Oh no, that's what it was. We got on the wrong stud.
Aye, we were going to 60.
Our syndicate bid 55. The next bid was 60. I don't know. I
60,
don't know how
that's
we
what it was.
felt about bidding again, because our record that we still hold is 65. So,
That's interesting.
yeah.
That's interesting.
But we weren't bidding. It was somebody else in the group that was bidding. So
Yeah, but you'd made it clear like 60 was your limit.
No, he tends not to stop because
I'm
he
no
was
good at
told
stopping.
one other year. You were told what was this, the budget was.
Well, we picked a ram, and there was 3 of us in the syndicate, and we all agreed we'd go with 5,000 each. I was to do the bidding, and we bought it at 18,000.
Okay, so that wasn't much. But when folks say
thankfully-
5,000, they really probably mean 7 or 8. Do you know? We talked about this last week. We had Bob Rennie on. He does the Texels, and Becca was here as well. And the Chieviets at Attenburn, and we're chatting, and it's like you kid yourself on. You say, right, my absolute limit is this, but then as it's going, you say, I could go a wee bit more. Could go a bit more.
It's auction fever. It's even worse. We were wanting to buy an Applecross heifer. And
What is that? Is that
it's from the Applecross foal, Highland coo.
Yeah.
Wee calf, just a wee Highland calf. But
Is this at Dalmally, sorry, or
no,
where's this?
it was at
Oban,
Oban,
sorry.
at
Oban,
Oban.
yep.
And we were flushing sheep that day. We couldn't go, so we were at Ovibreed bidding online. That is the worst because you want to make that wee button green.
Oh, it's a wee delay. Is that a wee delay? Or is it quite responsive?
It's not too bad.
Is that Martai or something like that?
I think it is
Martai,
Martai.
aye.
And did you get it?
We got it,
Yeah,
but
we did.
our first bid was 5,000.
Is that right? That was your first chance of getting in?
And then it was talking 500 bids, and so we broke the record and we bought it for 9,000. But it was
For a wee heifer calf.
a wee Highland heifer.
Fools and
calf.
the money are easy parted.
Fantastic. We're getting into it now. It's only taking us an hour. It's only taking us an hour to see absolute ballers here. like Alan Black, biggest ballers we've had in since Alan Blackwood here. This is great. So, right, okay, just 9,000 for a wee heifer. That'll be a breed record, is it?
It was
Well, it's
then,
been
but
broken
it was
since.
broken last.
Right. And what was so special about that? Because I hear it's quite mixed, the trade, the Highland cattle trade, quite...
It's all about the blood. It's the same with the black. It's
We're
all
buying
about
the
the bloods. You're buying the history. The Applecross is the oldest registered fold, and the underbidder was the Star Lake Cattle Ranch in Oklahoma.
Is that
And
right?
because they trade in genetics and semen.
Really?
They bought the pen mate, and so all her embryos and that head to America.
they bought the
'Cause
pen
Highland
mate?
coos are really big in America because it's been opened up again after BSE.
So they send her embryos, but they don't send her.
No, she
No,
doesn't go.
she can't go.
stays
She
here
can't go.
and all her embryos.
And so where will she go? Just back to where?
Well,
the farm
he
that
has
was selling
farms. He has people over here, so where they'll go.
it? Wow.
Don't give away too much here about the
But
secret world
he
of...
buys bulls as well.
Right. Okay.
But I think.
But you know, we were buying the story for our tourism business. It's
Aye.
just something else that me, Janet, or Chase gets to talk about. You know, they can point to the
Totally.
coup, relate it all the way back to one of the oldest folds of cattle in the world, and the records going back 300 years. That's a story there.
And we beat an American for it.
Yeah,
Yeah. But then they must have... Had they bought the pen mate before that one?
It was after they were knocked off because they didn't know who they were bidding against
Yeah, okay.
because we were doing it online.
But they'd be online too, will they not?
They would be
Aye, okay, interesting.
it's-
Yeah. Oh, good on you beating them, because you'd think they wouldn't stop those guys if. But then maybe it wasn't really the one they wanted. What did the other one go for? A fraction of the price.
4,000 maybe.
Ah, right, interesting.
Which for a wee 6-month-old wee calf, which is amazing. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, especially for Highland.
Yeah,
cattle,
the
it's mad.
Applecross fold hadn't sold at market for 40 years until the previous year, and they broke the record the previous year at 6,500 for a heifer calf. That went down to Cambridge.
And had they always just sold private?
Aye, just private.
Like to
now.
Germany is the big. Was Germany the big one for a while?
Germany's still a huge market. We actually
thought that was
sold a
stopped.
bull to Germany this year. We bought a bull during lockdown, and within minutes of buying it, a German was in touch saying, "How long would you like to use that bull for? I'd like to see him in Germany." And so he went to Germany in the September, and we got a bull back. With a very German name, Cameron,
There we go.
because they still use the Gaelic.
Powerful.
Strong name.
Brady.
They really value the bloodlines. They still use the Gaelic names. They're all named down the Gaelic names. And then everything shut down with Blue Tongue. And so all the German breeders, all the stuff that they've bought over here, still stuck.
What a
And they haven't
shame.
got it, which is a shame.
And they can't even get semen over.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think blue tongue will spread through semen as well. So I think
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed
Is
to.
that right? The blackies can't send semen to Ireland even? No, jeez.
Only
I think maybe they can trade it, but would you want to take that risk to introduce blue tongue into your area by buying?
But then Germany's already got blue tongue. We don't. So like, surely they can take semen from us. Like Germany's a blue tongue area. Germany's a blue tongue country, so I don't see why they couldn't take semen from us.
It's
we're
divided into regions, though. I think there's certain regions. I think they're all very.
They've obviously just closed down.
Yeah.
I mean, mainland. That's one thing about Europe. Like, one great thing about the UK being an island is that you do have a bit of security with certain things.
Yeah.
Seaman can't get a boat on a boat. Anyway, on that note, right, anything else you want to tell us about before we have a quiz we need to do?
Oh, a quiz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Will I get a coin?
What I'm going to do. We used to say you picked, but I think it's fairer if we just flip a coin. Then you don't have to. Saves a lot of arguments. Have you got a coin?
Well,
There'll be one in that
Janet's a
bag.
keen quizzer.
Oh, so you happy to see that?
I'm quite
Okay.
happy to let Janet have the
Rabbit in the headlights syndrome. What kind of quiz is it? What's it about? Is it
against
So-
the
Just
law?
totally random.
2 minutes, as many as you can get right in 2 minutes. Here's
am I timed?
your time, so as many as you can get right in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
at
you
the
can
top.
pass.
I can pass.
Iona will read out the right answers after each question. My cousin Neil is at the top here. Graham, who you know well, is second. It was him, I think, that told us to get in touch with
It
yourself.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still sitting third, still in the top three. Wallace is in fourth there. So it's the top four. We're going to do some sort of final of some sorts, I think. But yeah.
And what
Martin
is it?
Kennedy, you'll know Martin for the NFU.
Yeah.
Who else should you know? Maybe know
Fiona
Billy.
Scott. Is that John Scott's
John,
wife?
yes, you
Fiona
mentioned
Scott,
John
yeah.
Ella. They were in
Uh-huh.
last week.
Yeah.
So Fiona got a 6. It's difficult though. I'm going to tell. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
totally
like a
random
hard
questions.
quiz. I like a hard quiz. Right. Okay. So right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
In the acronym BSE, what word comes before spongiform ink?
Bovine.
Yes, based on the definition of a desert being an area that has less than 10 inches of rain a year, which is the largest desert?
Gobi.
Antarctica.
Oh, that's
Clever.
cheeky.
Which was the last British city to be named European Capital of Culture?
Edinburgh.
Liverpool. In which novel by Robert Louis Stevenson is the narrator a teenager named David Balfour?
Kidnapped.
Yes. Situated in Peru and Bolivia, what is the highest navigable lake in the world?
The Green Lake.
Lake Titicaca. What was the Roman name for England?
Gee, I should know this. England. Oh, I know Londinium was London. Oh, I just pass.
Albion. In which century was Dick Turpin hanged as a highwayman?
13th.
18th, 1739. What is the French term literally meaning according to the menu?
A la carte.
Yes. Americans refer to it as cotton candy, but what would it be called in the UK?
Candy floss.
Yes. Who wrote the book Being Jordan?
Jordan, the model.
Yes.
But what's her
Jordan.
What's her name?
Jordan. What's her name? Jordan. She's called Jordan. Jordan.
Do you want to pass?
Pass.
Katie Price.
Oh, Katie
What is the
Price.
name of the bitter orange flavoured Italian aperitif or drink? Orange. Icy.
Pass.
April. According to the proverb, all roads lead to where?
Oh, I do. Hell.
Rome. The US escapologist Harry Houdini was born in
Houdini. Oh my god.
Houdini was born in which Eastern European country?
Romania.
Hungary.
Hungary.
Alexander.
Time. Sorry, my god. Houdini. Harry Houdini. 4.
4. Oh my
4.
goodness, that's really bad.
Oh, poor Andrew and Michael. 4. I think there's a lot there you'll kick yourself about later.
Oh gosh,
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, I
But
think.
she's called Jordan.
Oh,
Katie Price, I couldn't think of.
Antarctica is one of those ones that, like, once they say it, you know you've heard it before.
It's a trick
I've still
question.
not. I didn't get my head round
But
that.
I laughed. I at least didn't bust it. Desert. Desert. Anyway.
But the lake in Bolivia.
Oh, I know, I would never.
Yeah, but that's just a quick, past that one. I would never have got the Roman name for England, which is Albion.
Neither would I.
Dick Turpin would be a mad guess.
Yeah.
A la carte, I wouldn't have got either. So you got that. Candy floss, I probably wouldn't have got. Or maybe cotton candy. Maybe I could have come up with that. Katie Price, I would have known. I listened to her on Louis Theroux's podcast the other day.
Oh, really? That's what I would listen to. Oh, is she?
She's off her head, man. She's the poor lassie. Like, she's just lost the plot. Like, she's lost the
has
plot.
she?
Aye, she's away with it, man. Absolutely away with it.
Aperol.
Aperol, would you know that?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know that.
No,
I still don't know.
Aperol.
Aperol spritz. So people would have like Aperol spritz.
What would you drink it with?
So like lemonade, yeah.
Is
or soda.
Is Aperol alcoholic?
Yep.
Right, okay.
Never heard of it.
All roads lead to. I'd have said all roads lead to home.
Home.
Yeah, I'd have said home.
I knew that.
Would you? You'd have said Rome.
Yeah.
All roads lead to something.
I think I'd have said home, to be fair. And yeah, Houdini was the other one. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes either you know them or you don't. But 4, you'll go up on the board there. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you in. Thank you. I think that'll really open folks' eyes to the possibilities of what can be done on the farm. You've obviously got a booming business. Has Landward film with you?
No, not yet.
Well, some of the team listen to the podcast, so I'm sure they'll be in touch because I think that'd be a class thing to film for Landward. So we'll probably see you next year. I mean, I'll probably not get the gig. But you never know. Sounds like one for Dougie. Sounds quite nice and sexy. Sounds like something Dougie would do.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, we're in the bad books. We didn't thank the sponsors at the start there, Iona.
No, we were too excited. We had too much to talk about.
I'm excited. I'm like, I hope she asks me about my farm. So yeah, no, thanks very much to Crystalyx and to Tracesure by Animax for sponsoring the podcast. You heard about them in the middle there, and of course thanks to Neil and Janet for an incredible story.
Yeah, they're great.
What a business.
What a business. Like, I just feel like hearing people's stories like that, it just opens my mind to like the possibilities of what you can do.
Oh, I think it's going to open everybody's mind.
Yeah.
To what can be done. Like, but the sad thing, not the sad thing, and I don't think I'll upset anyone saying this. If you've got a farm, it's relatively easy to make money from the farm if you don't farm it.
Farming.
That's the annoying. That's the disgusting, disgraceful thing about farming.
I know.
And Martin Kennedy stood up. There was a Lib Dems leader or somebody from the Lib Dems stood up at the farmer rally recently at Holyrood and said, we're working to make it easier for farmers to diversify and reduce planning restrictions and all that. And Martin stood up and said, I know where you're coming from. You're trying to be positive.
Yeah.
But it's a disgrace that farmers have to diversify to make a living.
It is.
Like, it is a disgrace that they have to do other things and bring the public on farm just to get by. Now, I'm not saying that's the case for Neil and Janet. They've been
they
ambitious.
were doing really well prior.
£65,000 beltex. I don't think they were needing people in the... But they saw an opportunity and they've grew a fantastic thing. Good on them. But there's some people have to diversify to keep it going, and it's shocking that farming is that way.
No, it is.
That said, lamb prices. £3.37 a kilo live weight at United Auctions on Saturday.
Wow.
I only had 2 in it here today because they were in a neighbour's field and everything else is in retention, so I managed to nab them this morning. I think I'm taking them to air.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice Christmas present. So yeah, incredible trade, lambs, and all the talk is like Ramadan's not till March. So Ramadan's it's the worst time of year for Ramadan because there's no lamb. It's when the lambs are at their least.
Yeah, of course.
So people like your dad are going to win massive because we talk about the blackie, but the only way to really make good money from the blackie job, the weather lamb job, is to keep them yourself and sell them fat.
Yeah.
If you're selling them store, you get hammering. We've spoken about that on here. But if you keep them yourself like your dad does and finish them, like Billy Welsh does that was on, like Billy Welsh will have 1,400 lambs. He won't sold a lamb yet. Last year he didn't sell a lamb till March, I think.
That's right.
And insane. And like he'll beat, with his blackie lambs, he'll average higher than all the boys that sold Texels.
God, that's insane.
But he's had to winter them.
Yeah.
But good winter's, well, don't know, 20 quid a head, roughly. Yes, plus your dosing and stuff. So it's a no-brainer. So yeah, no, that's the positive side of things just now. But it's all I needed.
Absolutely.
Definitely now there's a mortgage to pay. I know. And I'm going to do I'm going to do a YouTube video talking about the finances of the farm.
Okay.
And just be open about everything. And
would you think you would chat about that on a podcast as well?
Yeah, we may as well chat about it too. I thought about getting Margot in maybe to talk about it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Margot McGill, who was on the podcast before, was my solicitor for it.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah. So
I just think it's such a rare opportunity. Like you say, people don't really talk
Nobody
openly.
talks
It would
about
be brilliant for you to, come on and be honest about it all and the finances and.
we'll talk about it because it's insanity. It's
Yeah, maybe don't think too much about it.
but it is just mad. Like it's how a young person is meant to. It's not even the deposit's a big thing, really, because most of us, after if you work away and you build up your stock numbers, most of us will have the stock there to sell. You could pull together a deposit, and for a place like £1 million, your deposit's going to be with everything else, and we'll talk about that with stamp duty, everything else. You're talking just under 300,000. That's not even the hardest bit. The hardest bit is getting books together that say you can pay a mortgage, so that the bank will lend you the money.
Okay, right, okay.
And then I'm saying the deposit's not the hardest bit, but you've still got to factor in if you have to sell your stock to get your deposit.
Yeah, then you've got to.
How do you make your money to pay the mortgage?
Yeah.
That's the real issue. So there's lots to talk about that. We'll unpack that and we'll do it with Margot, I think, here, because
I think that's a great idea.
She can tell me when I'm wrong. She's very good at that. She's very patient. Margot won't likely hear this, but she was very patient with me.
She?
Yeah, because I'm a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'd tell me to do something, and then I wouldn't do it, and she was not out of badness, just out of trying to do a million other things. But she was very nice about it. But she made sure it was done.
Yeah.
She was good.
Or not give you too many things. I think that's the thing with you.
Yes.
Give you one thing.
Yes, she'd analyse the situation perfectly.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is what needs done today.
Top priority. Yeah. Do it again. Give you a short time limit. Yeah.
So good for that. Anyway, thanks so much, folks. Have a great new year. We'll see you next week with another podcast. Won't get a Friday chat out this week, mainly because Lizzie's family are all up.
Yeah.
So really, I've got to be there as much as can, and I've tried to get sheep work done as well. We've been not neglecting, that sounds wrong when you talk about livestock, but we're behind on work because of the excitement of moving into the farm.
Of course,
and you don't want to leave the place now.
I bet.
I'm excited to come for a look.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Well, this will all be moving there, hopefully, at some point. But anyway, that's it, folks. Happy New Year. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we are all fed by farmers.